You are already doing incredible things in this world. Your heart is so big. You have already worked so hard. You don't need to do one more thing. You don't need to prove one more part of you. You are deserving to ask for what you need. And you are so capable of receiving it. Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the Business of Happiness podcast. Hi, friends. It's Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy, and I'm so excited about today's episode. Guys, this is such a brilliant moment. Such an incredible realization that you're going to just, it's going to just soak into, and you're going to feel so good about it when it comes to navigating happiness, navigating freedom, navigating autonomy, navigating clarity of what it is you want in your life and the life you want to lead. It's that elusive thing we always talk about, this idea of balance. And in medicine and dentistry, and as women, high-achieving women, it's almost like a mythological concept of balance, right? Especially when we're running so fast and there's so much going on in our lives and we're wearing so many hats. I hear so many women asking for balance. What does that look like? How do I get balance? And that is what we're talking about in today's episode, is balance in medicine and dentistry, balance in business ownership, in high achieving, big goals, fast-paced career paths, in a service-based industry, an industry of giving and supporting and healing and serving others. What does balance even look like in parenting? What does balance even look like? What is it? And why are we craving it so much? That is where we're going today. So snuggle up, get your cup of tea, or if you're driving, enjoy, sit back, take a deep breath, and let this be just a beautiful component of your day. And I just want to take this moment to honor you, because if you're listening to this podcast, I already know a lot about you. Number one, I know you're a woman. Number two, I know you're a woman in medicine or dentistry, which means you are giving of yourself all the time. Number three, I know that you're high achieving, that you have big goals in your life. They might not look like someone else's goals, but you have dreams and desires, and you are very, very capable. You've come a long way, so you are very capable. You might be one of the people in your family that everyone comes to for support, for stability, for resolution of a problem, probably for financial support even. You might be the one that everyone leans on, am I right? And maybe it's not your family, it's your chosen family. Meaning your friends, meaning your colleagues, meaning the women you work with, maybe some men who you work with. You're probably the one that they all come to for support, to solve problems, for leaning on emotionally, leaning on energetically. And I also know, if you're listening to this podcast, there's a part of you that for a while has been whispering that there is more, that this isn't all there is, that you've done a lot in your life. You've achieved a lot. You maybe have achieved everything you set out to in your life, all your goals. You thought, I'm going to be a dentist. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to own a practice. I'm going to lead a team. I'm going to have X amount of money. I'm going to have a house. I'm going to have kids. And you've achieved almost, if not everything you've set out to. And there's a whisper inside of you. There's something in you that's saying, oh no, this doesn't feel as good as I had thought it would at this point in my life. This doesn't feel as fulfilling, as soul nurturing. This doesn't feel like maybe I'm not on the right path. Maybe I'm not doing what I'm meant to do? What is the next thing for me? Am I right? If you've been thinking any of those, then you're in the right place. And if you have been thinking, I just need balance. Maybe I have everything I need, but I now need balance. Then let's talk about what that is. Because I think we think balance is one thing, but it's really something else. And at the core of it, when I hear someone say, I'm just looking for work-life balance, what I'm hearing them say is, I haven't been true to me. I have been giving and serving and doing what everyone else expected of me, and I haven't turned around and been honest with or given myself permission to do what's right or what's needed by me. So just for a moment, I'd like you to ask yourself that question. When I say I want balance, am I really saying I've been ignoring my needs? Whew, isn't that interesting? Because, by the way, that is something in your power. So I talk a lot about this. Things that are outside of your power and things that are inside of your power. And how sometimes we spend so much energy and effort and time and mental capacity and actual efforting, like doing, trying to change things that are outside of our power to change. For example, it is outside of your power or control to change someone else's perspective of you. It is truly outside of your power. You can do things that influence how they think of you or what they think of you, but you have no control over other people's thoughts or opinions. Zero. You can be the best dentist that ever lived, and someone could show up at your office and say, this is the worst. 100%. Has zero meaning or zero reflection of who you are, what you're capable of, the amount of love and care and excellence that you provide. Zero. You have zero control over other people's thoughts and feelings. But something that you have control over is whether or not you give yourself what you need. So does needing work-life balance actually mean it's time to listen to what you need? Whew. And maybe you're having that realization right now of, oh my gosh, I've been putting everyone else's needs and priorities ahead of my own. And actually, it is in my power. I'm not saying it's easy or comfortable, especially if you've been doing the opposite for so long, especially if you have some limiting beliefs about your deservership, your worth, your deservancy of it. But let's just be honest with ourselves. It is in your power to make a choice that is in service of you. Let's look at another component of balance. Often what I hear when people say, I want more work-life balance, there's an inequity of giving without receiving. In other words, like imagine this analogy of exhaling constantly and never taking in a breath. Constantly giving to others and never allowing yourself to receive. Another component of something in your power. Isn't that interesting? I think so often we say to ourselves, well, there's no one helping me and I have no support. And that is not always true. In fact, many times there are plenty of people offering support, offering help, offering giving you what you need. And we're so quick to say, oh, no worries. I'll just do it myself. Don't worry about it. Let me just get it done. It's not actually being done the way I want it. So let me just do it myself. If you want something done right, do it yourself. Am I right? That old saying. So balance means an equal amount of giving and receiving. And, when I start, as I go further into this podcast, I want to make something very clear. It's not tit for tat hours. I'm going to give for 5 hours and I'm going to receive for 5 hours. And then I'm going to stay awake for 8 hours and then I'm going to sleep for 8 hours. It's not that old transactional component of balance that I'm talking about. It's an energetic awareness. And this is something that we do not talk enough about in medicine and dentistry. But the truth is, everything we do has a basis in energy. Energetic. Let's use that term in this podcast. I want you to get very comfortable with that term. We've labeled that as woo-woo and weird, but it's actually something us as women are extremely attuned to. If you consider yourself an empath or extremely sensitive to other people's emotions or their energy, you are reading energy. We as women are very good at it. Think about it. As mothers, it is something that we have to be good at. It is something that evolutionarily we've become very good at. You can read your child's energy. You know what I mean. When she walks down the stairs, you know your teenager is either in having a good morning or a bad morning instantly. You are so attuned to her. You know your spouse. When he or she walks in the door from the end of the workday, instantly we can read them. That is reading energy. And paying attention to your energetic reserves is a part of balance. So it's not a number of hours for a number of hours. No, that's where we got it all wrong. It's an energetic balance. And as women, we have been trained over our lifetimes, over generations, this feminine appeasement, constantly giving, constantly nurturing. And we're really good at it. And then you're probably excellent at it because that is why you're in a field of medicine or dentistry of constantly giving and nurturing and serving and healing others. You're probably excellent at giving. And it might be a challenge for you to start receiving. But notice that is what your body and your soul is craving, is balance. When you hear yourself say, I am looking for work-life balance, it is an energetic balance. We can't just exhale all the time. We need to inhale to refuel. We can't just constantly give to others. There needs to be a reciprocal receivership. Now, not necessarily from the same person you gave to. We're not expecting that from our patients. We do in an energetic form of money. I am going to design and give you this beautiful crown in your mouth. I am going to do this procedure on your body, and you're going to be energetically paying me back in money, right? That's an energetic exchange. However, you might be noticing that you've been giving so much that you're really needing a refueling energetically. That can come in the form of support from your team, of support from your family, of support from your friends. But recognizing that when you're feeling out of balance, that is what you're talking about. Giving and receiving, accepting and offering. And let's face it, offering feels really good. It feels really good to serve. It feels really good to give. We love the way that feels. And there's a little bit of refueling that comes from just giving in and of our own selves. So don't rob the other person of that feel good when they want to help you out. Let me help you with this. Say yes. Say yes more often. Notice that it could be as simple as that. That when you're noticing in your body that you need more balance, when you're hearing yourself say those words, could it just be, I need to say yes to more and receive more support. And when my team member offers to do something for me, let her do it, even if she doesn't do it perfectly. When your husband or your wife says, I'll go to the grocery store, let them do it, even if they're not going to buy the right things. There's an energetic exchange that needs to happen. There's a refueling that needs to happen. Another place that we often are out of balance is in communication. Are you doing more speaking? Are you doing more telling, instructing, speaking, sharing? Or are you doing more listening? And where does that need to find more balance? Often in our team, when it comes to our team, we find ourselves doing a lot of telling. Maybe that's not true for you. By the way, let me not put this on you. This could be a very different journey for you. You could be the one that's constantly listening to your team and having them make decisions in your office. And as the CEO of your leadership, of your business, of your team, you're not stepping up enough and asking for what you need and speaking. So as I'm going through all these components of balance, I want you to ask yourself, where am I out of quote unquote balance for me? And this is a really important moment right here. For me. Because what's true for you is not what's true for any other woman. We go through seasons of our lives where we're not the same woman. What's a sense of balance for you today might not have been the balance you needed yesterday or last year or 10 years ago. And this is really important because I think something that robs us of the clarity of where we need more balance is when we start judging ourselves in comparison to others or even in comparison to ourselves. Well, last year I didn't need this much sleep. Well, last year I didn't have a problem with XYZ. You are a different woman from season to season in your life. It only makes sense. Maybe you were going through a divorce 3 years ago. Maybe you're going through a divorce now. Maybe you were raising toddlers 5 years ago. Maybe you're raising toddlers now and you've never been in this place before and balance looks very different. And by the way, this is what we as women are very good at if you allow it. Think about it. You are good at balancing and pivoting. If we look at balancing more in terms of being on a surfboard, the balance on a surfboard, now it's not one or, it's not yes or no, it's surfing a wave. Now we're talking about a different component of balance. I need more balance. I need to be more of a surfer on the waves of my life or of my business or of my career or of my relationships. When things go up, can I balance that surfboard and ride that wave? And when it goes down, when things feel hard and heavy and uncomfortable, can I balance on this surfboard? It might mean leaning into one leg more than the other. When I was surfing an upswell, I could lean into my back leg. I could lean into the stability. Maybe I could lean on the forward leg. How do you surf that wave? I could rush into it and run with it and enjoy it. But notice how balance looks different when we use that metaphor of a surfer. So at different times in your life, you're surfing different waves. Sometimes it's very even keel and it's more of a paddleboard. And now we've got to put in a little bit of an effort. We've got to push a little bit. And sometimes we are surfing down a beautiful, fast wave, and we're just holding on and enjoying the ride. So if you're thinking right now, wow, I've been hearing myself say I need more balance. If you let go of the old definition of how you used to do it, of what it looked like last year, even last week, what would that look like now? What do you need now? And, this is another fascinating thing about women is even our bodies are not the same body from day to day, week to week. Hormonally, physically, energetically, they're all intertwined. You don't have as much fuel reserve in your body physically, biologically, from week to week. You don't. So we have different needs. that energetic output and energetic restoration is very different from week to week. So one of the biggest gifts we can give ourselves when it comes to balance is allowing ourselves to see when there's judgment and then dropping the judgment, whether it's self-judgment of how I am today versus a couple days ago or a couple months and a couple of years ago, or judgment in comparison to somebody else. Well, she's not doing that. She doesn't need that much sleep. She doesn't need that much support. She's not taking that many days off. She looks like she's working. First of all, we don't know. That's the number one thing. We don't know anything about her life. We don't know how balanced she feels. We don't know how out of balance she feels. Let's face it. Even if she's expressing something, we all put on a facade. So the only one you can know about is you. Another beautiful moment of balance is yes and no. And maybe you say yes to everything. And maybe you say no to everything. And when you're feeling out of balance, maybe ask yourself, wow, I've been turning down so many social engagements. I've been turning down saying yes to getting together with my friends. I've become really insulated and insular and quiet and in myself. And it makes a lot of sense because I've been feeling energetically depleted. So zero self-judgment. Notice how I dropped the self-judgment in order to get the clarity. And now I'm realizing there's a refueling, there's a life force there that I get from my friends. And it's time to start saying yes more. Or maybe you're noticing, Tarryn, I say yes to everything. I make the cupcakes on the weekends for the soccer thing, and I say yes to my mom when she needs me, and I say yes to my kids when they ask me to drive them somewhere. I am completely depleted, and it's time to start saying no. Another beautiful moment of balance. And by the way, as I say each one of these components, you don't have to do them all. I know. We always want to get an A+ on the project, don't we? I know that's what got you so far in life. And I'm giving you permission not to have an A+ on this one. You don't have to do it all. I'm sharing these with you because even one small thing might shift you energetically in a really powerful way. And when you feel good, you can do good, right? We know that. So when you feel a little bit better, then you actually have more clarity to make the next step. So maybe it's just as small as recognizing I've been saying no a lot and I really miss my friends. I really miss that social connection. And I'm realizing right now I need to say yes more. Or maybe you're realizing, Tarryn, I've been saying yes to too many things. It's time to start saying no. And say it from a place of really recognizing what I need. What I need. I'm hearing myself say I need more balance. Let me honor that. And when that happens, we get to also recognize social entertainment, social connection is so refueling, especially around like-minded people. So maybe the balance in your life is off because there's not the depth of relationship that you need. Maybe everything's feeling really shallow. Every connection you have is feeling really empty. All we do is talk about the weather and teeth, and we don't have much in common, or the kids, but we never get to something deep. And I really crave the depth. Or maybe you have some relationships right now, you're like, I am beat going so deep with these women. I need some relationships where it's just very shallow and fun. A little bit of levity. Levity. We take things so serious. Another moment of reflection. Am I so serious in all my life that I've left out the balancing of levity? Levity is such a healthy, incredibly refueling energy. Lightness. No deep purpose, no deep productive outcome, no achievement, no heavy other side, no greater purpose in my life, just doing something for the fun and the freedom of it, the silliness of it. Maybe that's something that has been out of balance for you. Yes, there needs to be seriousness. Yes, there needs to be responsibility and accountability. But if your whole life is responsibility and accountability and productivity and achievement and accomplishment, oh, that feels so heavy. You know, several years ago, I started pottery for the fun of it, not for making money, not for selling it, just for the pure fun of it. I was a complete novice at it. I didn't know what I was doing. 100% of my pots turned into a mess, and now it's just fun. And let me tell you what a gift that has been in my life. Just to have some levity. I put on just good music. I don't learn during it. I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm not studying. I'm playing. Or dancing. I've incorporated silly, and I'm not talking about ballroom dancing or learning how to dance. I'm talking about just moving my body to music and being ridiculously silly. It feels so good. It's such a beautiful counterbalance to the heaviness and the seriousness in my life. And what's really important is giving yourself permission. And once again, we come back to this is something that is in your power. And all you need to do is ask yourself, where am I feeling out of balance? That's it. Where am I feeling out of balance? Is it in working too much and I'm not taking enough time off? Is it in too many hours of awake and I'm not sleeping enough? Is it in too much strength training and I'm not stretching and allowing for more mobility and flexibility in my body? Have I been eating too much heavy food and I really just need a little detox? Have I been, over giving to everybody else, and which we do so easily in our profession because it's all we do all day, and I haven't been giving myself permission to receive? And even if you just do a small bit of that, just give yourself permission to even play with it a little bit. When you hear the answer, and this is how easy it is, I close my eyes, and this is important because we don't do enough of quiet. There's another balance moment. When we're constantly with other people or talking or hearing noise, sometimes it's good to just close your eyes and turn everything off. Not in sleep state. You're awake, but you block out all the noise. Because we live in such a noisy world. Block it out. Turn the lights off. Close your eyes. Turn the sounds off. Just sit in quiet. Take a deep breath. Why? Because that slows down and calms down your nervous system out of fight or flight into parasympathetic calm. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. And fully exhale. And if your mind's still racing and you're feeling really stressed out, go ahead, pause this podcast and do that 4 or 5 more times. Slow inhale, hold, and exhale. Then come back. And then ask yourself, where am I feeling out of balance? It'll come to you like that. Don't question it. Don't judge it. Don't doubt it. Just listen. The first thing that comes into your mind. Don't make it wrong. You will know instantly, like that. And then take action because that's in your power. And if it's, I need more sleep, babe, listen to your body. If it's, I need to stretch more, babe, listen to your body. I have been dehydrating myself. I need to refuel with water. I'm so dehydrated. I've been pouring sweat out of my pores. I need to refuel. That's the balance. Start small. Let it be that silly. I have been saying, I don't have enough support. I've been holding and carrying my team and doing everyone's jobs for them. I need more support. I need to ask for help. Taking that small step. And very importantly, dropping the judgment. Not making it right, not making it wrong. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you've been doing it wrong. Don't beat your past self up. You are in this moment asking yourself, and it is not true for anybody else. This is what's true for you, and no one else has the answer. There's not a single person you can go to and say, Sarah, how can I get more balance in my life? Guess what? It's you. You get to ask yourself. You deserve it. Let me just say that right now, because maybe that's the message you need to hear today. Maybe you've been having so much out of balance experience of social media and your own thoughts telling you that you're not good enough, that who you are is not good enough, that you don't deserve what your body is asking for, that you need to earn more or do more or lose more weight or gain more money or gain more respect, and that what is being asked of in your body is not yet, you don't yet deserve it, or that you'll lose love, that there's not enough money, that you might lose money if you take time off. Let this be the voice you need to hear to counter that for you today. You are so worthy. You already are. You don't need to change a thing about yourself, my love. You are already doing incredible things in this world. Your heart is so big. You have already worked so hard. You don't need to do one more thing. You don't need to prove one more part of you. You are deserving to ask for what you need. And you are so capable of receiving it. Yeah, you are capable. I know maybe you haven't practiced receiving for a long time, but you are capable. All it takes is giving yourself permission, and it is in your power. And let yourself start with a baby step. Ask for what you need in a small way, and then notice and celebrate it. Say, oh my gosh, I just asked, and it happened. They said yes, or the universe gave it to me. I just closed my eyes and I said, please show me, universe, where I have some support, where I can get more help. And then watch the universe deliver. Ask a friend, I really need someone to help clean my house. I'm noticing that's where I'm out of balance. I'm the one doing all the cleaning. Notice how friends out of nowhere will start sending you these incredible teams of women who can come and clean your house for another energetic exchange. Babe, giving and receiving is what we do best. And if you're noticing I'm out of balance, maybe it's as small as that. And as soon as you start recognizing, wow, I really can ask for what I need, I really can start receiving, as a feminine human being, we are innately capable at receivership. But maybe you've been practicing the opposite for a long time. And that is okay. This moment in time where your body is telling you, you know what? I'm out of balance. Listen. You deserve to listen. And you will be amazed at how capable you are at now giving your body what it needs. Sending you so much love and reminding you that how you feel is your indicator. When something feels out of balance, when something feels off, listen to that. That is your intuitive knowing. That is your higher self speaking to you. That is your brilliance and your power. And you deserve to listen to it, and you are so capable of asking for what you need. Because when you feel good, that is when you can do good. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes, and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.